discuss the new gods of us, the hottest band in the world,
Schmack 'em a gob, everybody. Hey, the great Dennis Turney Jr. sent me, oh my God, dude. Doing this one really woke me up to how incredible Leftoverture is. Seriously, to go against such a masterpiece like Diary of a Madman and really held its own. I'm not saying who won. I'm not saying Kansas won. What I'm saying now is that it had a knockdown, drag out on some of these Diary of Madman songs that it actually won. Diary of a Madman is like, I've said it before and I'll say it again, man. In the 80s, Diary of a Madman, the Merciful Fate EP, Melissa, and Don't Break the Oath. No other album comes close to those albums in the 80s, you know? Now, Leftoverture, man, it's a real bias situation with Leftoverture because it's the first rock album I ever bought. I've owned 45s from Elton John. I had Little Willie from The Sweet. I had a few of them. I don't know. I'm pretty sure my brother had that one. My brother had a couple too. Like, we had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. And I remember when that was new, I actually liked it. Now it's like the most cringiest song ever. Well, that would be 1979 from Smashing Pumpkins. But you know what I'm trying to say, right? Leftoverture was the first one I bought, and it was because of a movie I saw. I went to the movies and I saw a movie called Heroes with Sally Fields and Henry Winkler. It was when the Fonz was huge, right? So I go see this movie, and at the end of the movie, they play Carry On My Wayward Son. And I was like, whoa, I just remember I heard that, and I must have saw the credits on the screen of that song. And that theater was kind of like in a, one of those little mall things, outdoor malls. And there was a record store there. So I walked over there, and I had the money. And I saw the album Leftoverture, Kansas, Carry On My Wayward Son, bought it. That was the very first rock album I bought. And I would play that album over and over. Actually, I would say about maybe the first 6 months, I would only play side one. Because I think the first time I heard that album, I heard side one, I was like, my God, this is great. And then when I played side two, didn't really do much for me. But now I think side two is just as good. Now, Diary of a Madman, my God, man. This is going to be, I did it already, but my God, it was horrible. Getting these really great songs to lose hurt. All right, we start with Carry On My Wayward Son versus Over the Mountain. My God, this is so tough, Carry On My Wayward Son was the song, I gotta go with Over the Mountain, though, man. It hurts, but I gotta give that to Ozzy. That song rules so hard. All right, next. The Wall versus Flying High Again. My God, this sucks. Flying High Again loses. I love that damn song. But The Wall is a freaking masterpiece. I mean, that song goes beyond the Call of Duty, man. That's an epic, if ever there was an epic. Is The Wall by Kansas. And how that song is not on the radio as much as Stairway to Heaven, it really, really baffles me, I don't know why that is. Giving that to The Wall. Next. This hurts so bad. What's on Your Mind versus Can't Stop Rock and Roll. This hurts, man. This really hurts, but I gotta go with Kansas. Yep, I gotta go with Kansas. And I mean, I always point my finger at Kiss. That got me into the hard rock shit and made me look for other bands. But oddly enough, before Kiss, I had this album, and What's on Your Mind is heavier than anything Kiss has done. it's weird back then. I guess listening to What's on Your Mind back then, I figured, wow, this band's special. You know, and there's no other bands like this. For some reason, when I heard Kiss, I go, I bet there's more bands like this. Weird. I'm going What's on Your Mind. It hurts, man, but I gotta give that to Kansas. That song rules so hard. All right, next. Oh boy, this is painful. This may be the most painful out of all of them. Miracle Out of Nowhere versus Believer. Man, that guitar solo in Believer always gets me. It's like, oh. You know, I just, it wasn't an argument. I just let somebody know out there, because somebody, I like the Clash. Actually, I used to hate the Clash. I was like this person a lot. So he came to me saying, and this was a lame excuse why the Clash is not good, right? And I'll explain, because he said the reason, not the reason Clash ain't good. He goes, hey, Lemmy from Motorhead hated the Clash. Need I say more? And I replied to him saying, hey, did you also know Lemmy from Motorhead thought Randy Rhoads is only big because he died? Oh yeah, he said it. He loved Randy. They toured together. He thought Randy was a good guitar player, but after he died, he became better. You know, it's kind of like him saying it's because he died, he gets all this recognition. Lemmy thinks that too. So I don't agree with either thing that Lemmy said. Lemmy is still God. I still worship Lemmy. Motorhead's one of the greatest bands ever. I own every single studio album, official studio album they released. I'm a huge Motorhead fan, but I'm not a sheep, man. I am not a sheep. You know, the biggest, you know, I don't care. You know, the Elvis hated the Beatles. I don't care. I love Elvis and I love the Beatles. Anyway, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, man, listen to that guitar solo on Believer and tell me Lemmy's right. Give me a break. That is fucking epic. The notes he chews. That's why Randy Rhoads is my second favorite guitar player of all time after Eddie Van Halen. I got to witness Randy Rhoads live. Front row, right in front of him. I was on his side. I know. Lemmy did a lot of drugs to not notice that on that tour. But anyway, I'm giving it to Miracle Out of Nowhere. I know it hurts, man. That's my all-time favorite Kansas song. I gotta give it to that. All right, next. Opus Insert versus Little Dolls. You know, again, they're both great. I love Little Dolls. Little Dolls is like, oh, that's the worst song on the album. Maybe so, but it's still an awesome song. Opus Insert wins though. I love the hell out of that song. Man, Kansas has taken over after the second track, hasn't it? Will Ozzy get any points after this? Let's find out. Because Kansas ain't messing around. It just beat up 4 songs from Diary of a Madman. All right, next. Questions of My Childhood versus Tonight. I'm going with Ozzy, man. Tonight. My favorite Ozzy solo ballad song. And what amazing guitar player from Randy Rhoads. While he was alive, he did that. And it was phenomenal. I'm giving that to Tonight. Next, Cheyenne's Anthem versus SATO. Again, both awesome, but I gotta go with Ozzy, man. SATO. You know? People saying, oh, what does SATO mean? It means Sharon, Arden, Osbourne, whatever. What is it? Sharon, Osbourne, what's the T for? Sharon, Thelma, SATO. No, S, yeah. Sharon, Arden, Thelma, right? Osbourne, am I right? Who cares? To me, SATO means Sharon is a cunt. All right? Seriously, that's what that SATO means to me. And I'm giving it to SATO. That song rules so hard. All right, last song, Magnum Opus versus Diary of a Madman. Look, I love them both. You know, I got to see, even though, you know, it was scab cancers, only I think Phil Ehart and Robbie Steinhardt, damn it, Rich Williams. Those are the only two members left. But it was great. They did the whole Leftoverture. They did this whole damn song, long ass song. Fucking epic. I'm going with Diary of a Madman though. That shit is beyond epic. And that guitar player was from, he was living and breathing and unbelievable, slapping everybody around except King Edward Van Halen. Diary of a Madman wins that. So there you go, Dennis Turney Jr. There's the final score. Yeah, they're too bad. Both these albums are too badass to lose. They're too amazing. That's what I think. What do you all think? Leave it in the comments below. Kansas Leftoverture versus Diary of a Madman. I'd love to know what you all feel. And hey, if you'd like to donate, I got a PayPal in the description below. So thank you so much, Dennis. You rule. You and Melissa rule. And everybody out there, you all rule as well. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring that little notification bell. I totally would appreciate that. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Leftoverture and Diary of a Madman and smack 'em a gub.